Have you ever been asked to tackle a challenge so big and complicated that you question your sanity for even attempting to do it? That was me when I was handed the task to build an entire X-ray department from scratch with zero formal training, but instead of throwing in the towel, I said, I will figure it out. Hi, aloha, this is Jules, and greetings to all my fellow healthcare clinic managers out there, and all who happens to be watching this channel. Thank you for tuning in. Just a few years into my new role as the clinic manager, I was faced with a challenge that seemed impossible: building an X-ray department from scratch. The goal was clear: to improve patient experience and compliance, but the path ahead was not so much. When my boss first gave me the task, my gut reaction was, are you kidding me? I don't know the first thing about building a radiology department. But instead of letting doubt take over, I took a deep breath and said, okay, I'll figure it out. And so began my journey on a journey that had more twists and turns and setbacks than I had expected. I started by diving into my own R&D, research and development, but I tell you, I was more like, what on earth am I doing? I had to learn about X-ray equipment, the systems, and the entire process from the ground up. I quickly found out that GE Healthcare and Philips were the companies that needed for me to reach out to. So I made a call. The first response was, your room is too small, because I was turning previous doctor's office into an X-ray room. So they told me that I would have to knock down a wall, and that's where things got real. If we knocked down a wall, that means I would lose an entire exam room, and that was non-negotiable. So I pushed back, and after a lot of back and forth with GE, they finally agreed to build a compact machine that would fit. But here's another plot twist. We couldn't do any weight-bearing X-rays. Everything had to be all on the table. So GE had to build a machine from scratch to meet the specs of the room we had to work with. What should have been 3 months timeline became 6. Yep, 6 months for a custom-built machine to make its way to Hawaii. 6 months of waiting, learning, and frankly, hoping it would all come together. But during that time, I didn't just sit around. I had to prepare the room, reinforce the floor where the X-ray table would be bolted down, and surprise, I had to lead line the walls to keep radiation from escaping. And did I mention I had to bring in an electrician, because the X-ray machine needed a dedicated power line. At that point, I wasn't just managing a project. I was managing contractors, coordinating with engineers, and keeping my sanity intact. But every step forward was a victory, no matter how small. Fast forward, after months of work, we finally had the X-ray machine in place, complete with software that allowed the doctor to view and read images from his office. But we weren't done yet. We still needed a physicist to come and certify that we were fully compliant with every law, because apparently radiation is a big deal. Then came the X-ray facility license. That's right, I had to apply for it from the state of Hawaii, and when we got approved, we were in business. But of course, there was one more step: hiring a radiology tech. Actually, I did that prior to getting the machine right in place. And of course, I had to create an SOP for the position, which, yeah, I haven't had one yet. But anyway, here's the takeaway. The road to success is never smooth, and you won't have all the answers at the start. But that's okay. What you need is the determination to learn as you go, the willingness to ask for help when you need it, and the ability to build relationships with the people who can help you get there. In the end, it wasn't just about building an X-ray room. It was about the people who helped me along the way. The engineers, the electricians, the physicists, and even the folks at the state who helped guide me through the licensing process. If you're facing a challenge right now that feels impossible, remember this: you don't have to figure it all out alone. Lean on others and stay persistent, and trust that you will learn as you go, one step at a time. The journey may be tough, but you've got everything you need to get through it. Until next time, my friends, stand and deliver on doubling down on your faith. Keep your hope alive and build solid relationships that will help you rise higher to conquer your giants. Aloha!